All right. Hi, my name is Strumpet. I go by Gabby as well. I actually, the first time I did a cosplay was probably like Halloween when I was in the 6th grade, technically. But I started cosplaying in the fandom 2012, first time at BronyCon 2012. So, yay! It was when we met. So, yeah, BronyCon, it brings back a lot of fun cosplay memories for me. So I'm glad to be back.
And hi, I go by Lady Ava Cosplay on the interwebs. I have been cosplaying for 15 plus years. A little background on my costuming and whatnot. I have my certification in costume design and wardrobe technicianing from FIT. I've worked on professional film. I've worked on Broadway and off-Broadway. What else? I also work at an art school in the New York City area. Which I won't drop names because I don't want you to know where I work. But I've been a fan of My Little Pony since 1987, and I started cosplaying My Little Pony when season 1 of this series came out, but it's always had a very near and dear place to my heart. Actually, I had a My Little Pony costume when I was like 4, which there are no photos of.
Done.
So now that you know us, what is cosplay? Now, I can tell that a lot of you in the audience are cosplaying, but who here isn't in costume but has cosplayed before, or has an interest in learning how to cosplay? Ah, there we go.
Yes.
What up? How you doing? You're in for a crazy ride. So, what is cosplay? Cosplay comes obviously from the words costume and play. Now, a little known fact about the actual hobby of cosplay, that a lot of people think that it originated in Japan, right? You know, that's where a lot of anime fans, with the crazy Japanese cosplayers, like, boom, it blows your mind. Surprisingly, no. Cosplay started here in the US, actually. And it started here at the World's Fair in like the
1939.
Thank you. 1939, the very first cosplayer was here in the US. And much later in the 80s, a Japanese magazine photographer came over to a Star Trek convention.
Yeah, it was 84.
84. Came over to go to a Star Wars, Star Trek convention,
Sci-fi
sci-fi convention, and he was fascinated by all these people dressed up as these characters from this TV show. So he took all these photos and he went back to Japan and he published them in his magazine, and it all went downhill from there. Yeah, all right, sure. Depends on the way you want to look at it.
There was a hill involved.
There was a hill of some kind involved.
It involved a lot of walking.
So there we go. Now, cosplay really exploded in the early 2000s here in the country. Like, before that, it existed, but it was kind of, a little low-key, back in the corner. Some conventions had it. And then because of things like Adult Swim and Toonami, with the incoming thing of anime, cosplay went kaboom and exploded into like this massive thing. Really, in 2005 was the big change in the community when everybody started to be like, cosplay, you say? Today, across the planet, the industry is worth over $600 million worldwide. Cosplay is huge. We are very mainstream now, thanks to like TV shows as Heroes of Cosplay and all these other things.
What brand is it that's making cosplay patterns now? Like actually branded?
McCall's. McCall's is making cosplay patterns now that are available. It's huge. Cosplay is now what we like to call mainstream. Hey. So, moving on. Come on. And of course, I want to drop one very important fact, like, this is the utmost important, thing about cosplay, okay? Cosplay is for everyone, okay? I know. My touchpad is super sensitive since I got Windows 10, so we're just going to write it off. Yep. But cosplay is for everybody, okay? There are no limitations on who can and cannot cosplay. I don't care what anybody says. You can cosplay whatever you want. If it makes you happy, you do it. That's the important thing about this hobby. Okay? We all understand? So what is cosplay? Fine? Say it. Fine? Fine?
What have we done? You started it. You opened the floodgates.
I opened the floodgates. But let's go back to the ponies, shall we? We're going to talk about the types of pony cosplays, because there are actually a couple of different types of pony cosplays here. So, humanized pony cosplays. That's basically what we are right now. It's no ears, no wings or horns, and it's completely humanized versions without the little added nuances to the character itself. and you put the cutie mark somewhere on the clothing as part of the clothing. Like my cutie mark is my little skull patch on mine here. So.
And then, I don't know if you can see, but I have my music notes on my shorts.
And you're just evil.
I'm just evil. I don't get a cutie mark.
You don't got no cutie mark.
Evil!
Oh, wow, that got really screwed up. I'm
That is
sorry.
drunken.
But I will probably
It's a
have to avoid
drunk.
her eventually.
I'm sorry, apparently the PowerPoint had a little too much before we came.
It became one.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about anthropomorphic anyway, so it kind of works out, doesn't it? So it's still humanized, but you add the wings and the ears and the horns and all the other fun stuff to the costume design itself. A lot of the time when I do, like, when I cosplay, say, Princess Twilight Sparkle, I'll do my wings, but I won't do the ears or the horns because I want to have wings.
How else people know you're a princess?
Exactly.
See, I'm a princess. I get wings. There you go. And then there's fursuits. Fursuits are the giant mascot-type costumes that you'll see walking around. People are covered completely head to toe in the mascot suit. You can't see their face at all. And they're kind of like park mascots almost that you'd see at like Disney World or something like that. That is a very popular type of pony cosplay. And honestly, you got to give those people a ton of credit because those suits are very difficult to make. My boyfriend is a suitor, but not a furry. He's a suitor. There's a difference. There is a difference. There is a difference. Tomato, potato, whatever. But I've been yelled at a couple of times, being like, I'm not a furry. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure.
They're also difficult to wear.
They're also very difficult to wear. A lot of those suits actually have built-in fan systems in the head so they can keep cool. And a lot of people will actually build the mouths to be open and closable, like they actually are able to open and close their mouth so they can drink while they're in the costume to make them cooler. They have very ingenious ways of making their suits breathable and easy to wear. So let's move on. Types of pony cosplay continued. Rule 63 cosplay, guys are portraying female characters and vice versa. So basically what we're doing here is you're dressed as a female derpy or a male derpy, or you're dressed as a male Twilight Sparkle, or there you go.
They all have,
They all have their flip names. I wish I knew them all, but I don't because I stink. But yeah, it's actually incredibly popular for the brony culture to do that because they really want to have the whole thing kind of be. They want to cosplay their favorite character, and if their favorite character is the main six, they'll be like, oh, I can't do that. Psh, of course you can. I've seen so many cute designs for male Twilights, it's adorable. And even like vinyl scratches. Vinyl scratch has to be the most popular one that this happens with. Everybody wants to be the DJ pony.
I saw a really cool male Celestia earlier, actually.
Oh, with the armor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's all about, it's everything you can, that's the great part about cosplay in general. You can just do whatever you want and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that reminds me. I also remember when I was out in the betting hall, I also saw a female T-Rex.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep,
Nice.
I saw that too. She's cool, yeah.
See, guys can cosplay the main six too. I completely forgot.
Hey, you look into the future.
There are no right or wrong ways to cosplay ponies. There really is no set design if you want to do just a main six character. I chose a school uniform because Twilight's a student, and I went a little bit on I don't even know, British boarding school kind of style.
Yeah.
And I made one for my Spike too. He matches me.
Yeah.
So
We know your love of donuts. It's okay.
I couldn't find donut fabric. I really wanted donuts.
Yeah, and basically anytime I do rarity, it's obviously got some sort of rockabilly vintage twist to it. So that's just the way that, I cosplay. So you can give your own uniqueness to it. That's the best thing about cosplaying horses. You can show yourself.
Yeah, and Gijinka cosplay in general, which is when you're cosplaying some kind of animal, I love doing it so much. I do mostly either pony or Pokemon costumes, is because you have the freedom to create your own design.
Wigs, wings, and more. Okay, we're gonna move on to the wigs and wings and things like that, accessories basically for your ponies. So let's say you got your costume together, it's all cool, but you really want to add those little details like a wig, for example. There are two major, really good wig sellers here in the U.S. There's Arta Wigs. Who here has ever heard of Arta Wigs? Raise your hand. Okay. Arta is fantastic. They're based out of Chicago. And they're probably, I think they're the first major wig company.
They
They're
were
the first
kind of
major wig
the big
company
one.
here in the US. A lot of the time before ARTA or Epic Cosplay existed, our wigs had to be shipped overseas from China or Korea
Amphibori.
yeah.
We don't speak about those dark days.
Those were dark days, my friends.
Or like salon studios that you have to be
member of.
a member of. Yeah, it's hard to get a wig back in the day.
This time in a good way.
Oh, sorry, I'm hungry. Sorry, that's really rude of me. Shut up.
Oh my god.
Okay, sorry. The reason this PowerPoint looks so weird is my apologies. I made it on a Mac and then put it on a PC. I'm a Mac, I'm a PC. Yeah, let's go down that road. Okay. Wow, that was really old. Okay. But in preference, I prefer to use a wig for my costume, mainly because I feel like the wig can have a lot more body and it just looks a little bit nicer than using your natural hair. There's nothing wrong with using your natural hair. I'm going to say it right here and now. If you can't afford a wig, wigs are expensive. They are an investment in your costume. That if you're going to be making your costume, they're considered, I think, an investment. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll look at a wig and be like, okay, I really want to buy this, but what else could I use it for? Like, what could I yeah, La Muerte was all recycled wigs. Yeah, it was. I made a wig for one of my characters, and it was 6 wigs into one, and I recycled all those wigs from other characters because I knew that I'd use them again. It was just long, black, wavy hair, but it had to be out to like here and all the way down my back. It's Book of Life. Anybody seen the Book of Life or heard of the Book of Life? La Muerte from the Book of Life? Yeah, her. And we don't talk about those days. Hair all over the place. I've seen things, man. But for ponies in general with wigs, it also achieves that more animated look. I prefer when I'm making a cosplay or with wings or anything like that, I prefer them to everything look animated, like it just got yanked out of the show and put into real life. So feathered wings versus foamy wings, like the ones that Yaya Han sells. I see a couple people wearing them. It's no shame. Yep, sick. Versus feathered wings. Feathered wings can be very expensive to make. So you get your little craft foam wings, and they can take a beating. Versus the feather wings, where you have to kind of white glove. Yeah, you have to use white gloves to maintain them, basically. But with things like wigs, if properly cared for, your wig can last you years and years and years and years. This wig that I'm wearing for Twilight is a 5-year-old wig. And it's been like this for 5 years. I actually have a ponytail extension, but I had a headache, so I took it off. Hey, I'm telling the truth. What else does it say? I don't know.
Can last. It says what you said.
Oh, hey, okay, cool. Moving on. I hate you.
Oh, it didn't. Oh.
Hello?
It's mocking us.
Yeah.
Technology.
It was out.
Anyway, making your own wings can be super simple. I know that a lot of vendors down in the artist alley are selling wings, and they can be kind of pricey, but cosplay doesn't have to break your budget at all. A sheet of craft foam, or 2 sheets of craft foam can make a set of wings, 2 sheets of craft foam can make you a set of wings, and it can be $1 per sheet of craft foam. And they actually, I think I put it up online, I'm not sure. A lot of people have actually put up tutorials and patterns for the wings online, so you just print them off your computer, trace them onto the foamy, cut them out, and follow the instructions, and ta-da! You have wings in like 2 hours, not even. It's all it is hot glue and wire. That's all it is. It's fantastic in some way. If you're looking for tutorials, obviously the #1 place to go is YouTube. What isn't on YouTube these days? Excuse me.
Or the Googles.
Or Googles.
Yeah.
The Googles.
Ehow probably has one by now.
Yeah.
Ehow. Actually, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
They do, actually. But yeah, no, I listed actually some people on YouTube for felt wings, ears, and horns. If you want to look it up, you can write it down. I left it up on the PowerPoint. If you're looking for some kind of tutorial, there it is right there for you. Now, if you're not super crafty and you really just want to buy this stuff so you know you're getting a good quality product, do some research on your vendor that you're buying from. I mean, a lot of these people who are selling stuff at this convention sell them online. You can find out a little bit extra information before you go plunking down like $80 for a set of ears, horns, and wings. I always recommend you do your research, because research is key to cosplay. Like, definitely, which we'll get into, I think, shortly. Because the other thing, too, is that, especially at conventions, vendors do been known to raise their prices, because it's the instant gratification rather than waiting for shipping and whatnot. But honestly, as long as you do your research and you're mindful of, the people that you're going to be dealing with, doing business with, to buy your accessories, you should be fine. So, moving on. Okay. There's different ways of doing, costumes, basically. I consider 3 ways of cosplaying from My Little Pony, which is closet cosplay is the first one, where you just pull pieces out of your closet and then match the character, or you go shopping for pieces to match the character, like a suit or something like that. Or Pinkie Pie, you could find like cute pink suspenders and a pink skirt and a t-shirt that you can drop balloons on and call it a day kind of thing. I mean, it doesn't have to be big, crazy, elaborate. It doesn't have to be. If you just want to dress up as your favorite character, you can go to a thrift store. Forever 21 is dirt cheap and have like some really good pony stuff. Where else? Amazon. Amazon and I are like this. Because I don't make gloves, because gloves.
Same.
Gloves scare me.
You don't want to try.
No, I've done that. I've been that road. It's a sad road.
No bueno. It is a lonely road.
I'll get a Boulevard of
I've
Broken
never known.
Dreams over here. Like, it's that bad, man. The second option is to commission somebody to make you a costume. Now, commissioning basically means that you want to hire a seamstress or another cosplayer to make your costume for you. You send them the measurements, and you do payment installments, and they give you progress, ta-da, costume. However, I will tell you that a lot of commissioners, it's expensive to get a costume custom made for you. Costume commissioners, I know for when I did costume commissions, I charged by the hour, and I had an hourly rate. My hourly rate is not cheap, because you're taking time out of my day in order to make your costume, and I appreciate the business, but I have to think of it as just that, a business. So in the long term, you can get a beautiful costume, but once again, do your research.
Please.
Some commissioners will take your money and run. It's not a pretty thing, and a lot of cosplay websites will list, like, we have a blacklist somewhere, I think, of like people who you don't commission from anymore, because they take your money and run, and you never see you're out like $400, $500, because there goes your costume money.
Or you get it back and it's like all hot glued together when it's supposed to be sewn together.
Yeah.
And that's
So
happened to me
it's
before.
all about the quality over the quantity, and just once again, it's a research thing, especially with commissioners. Or there's rule number 3, or way number 3, which is do it yourself. Learn to sew. Now, if we all remember Rarity in the Art of the Dress episode, you can see what a tasking thing that can be. Oh. It needs to be about 20% cooler. So, as I put here, which I don't know if you guys can actually read it, but it's like, grab a sewing machine and pray to the cosplay gods for luck, because you're gonna need it. No, it's right down here.
Oh, it is? Oh, I can't see.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I just wanted to say, I can't stress this enough. If you are unable to sew, don't beat yourself up over it. No, not everyone has that talent. I've tried. I have a central trimmer. I can't keep a line straight. So I'm not going to hold it against myself that I don't know how to make costumes. So don't let anyone give you smack for that.
I'm gonna hold it against you.
Well, okay, she can hold it against me.
Basically, as long as you are having fun while wearing your cosplay, it does not matter if you made it or not.
Yes.
What she said. Makeup.
That's my favorite one.
So, when cosplaying, makeup, and especially now since everybody's cameras are HD, high-res, redonkulous lens, can catch every pore, and you look like the first, like surface of the moon type thing here if you don't have enough makeup on. Makeup has become a very vital point to cosplay. My guy friends wear it. Like crazy, ridiculous makeup techniques. Like, I've had some crazy stuff done to me to get like the perfect style of makeup done. It's so important to just know the basics of what's good for your skin and know your skin type and everything like that. And I'm gonna give this to Gabby, because she likes makeup.
We love makeup. Yes. So I do recommend primers. Not everyone can afford them right away because makeup is just expensive, and I wish it was less expensive, but there are only some things we can help. So if you can invest in a primer, do it because it'll keep the makeup on and it doesn't clog up the pores, and especially if you're going to be reapplying it all day, like I generally do. You don't want to go home and, you know, break out into a bazillion zits. So, and it's happened before.
It's only to protect your skin and your complexion, because when we wear this stuff for cosplay, we're caking it on. I have 3 layers of foundation on my face right now, and I need to take it all off and reapply whip for my next costume, which will take another 20 minutes to do.
Just, I guess, yeah, the 2 biggest things, of course, that we all notice are the eyes and the lips. And we don't give enough credit to the lips even, but like even just a simple shade, like a matte shade, even if you're a guy, just of lipstick, it photographs so well.
It makes everything pop.
Yeah.
The goal is to, especially if your photographer is doing a close-up shot of your face, the goal is to make those eyes and those lips pop in the photo. That's why things like really clean lines in your eyeshadows and your mascaras, but with girls, and we put these on guys too, fake eyelashes.
Fake eyelashes.
Fake eyelashes. Mine aren't fake, but whatevs.
Yeah, if you can manage it, please. I mean, they will make you look like a cartoon character.
Like right now, I will tell you the type of makeup I'm wearing. I am wearing a Bare Minerals primer. I'm wearing a Benefit concealer all over like the trouble spots of my face, and my foundation is Urban Decay. Now right there, that's a lot of money, like I have caked on my face. But just because I use high-end makeup doesn't mean you also have to use high-end makeup. I choose to do that because I find it to be an investment for me, because I wear it also every day. It's not just for cosplay. I wear my foundations and things when I go to work. It does not, like, you don't have to have like high-end makeup to have good makeup. There's still really good makeup, stop it, that you can get at like a drugstore or like a CVS or something like that. A really good brand I recommend is NYX.
Yes.
NYX is fantastic.
Revlon Color Stay.
And Revlon, yes. They're cheap. They're easy access. You don't have to go to like some crazy makeup counter where they're trying to sell you everything. Oh God. And in Target.
Also, Ultas. If there's an Ulta in your area, visit it.
Or Sephora.
Yeah. Sephora's a little bit more expensive than Ulta, but either way.
But Sephora actually has a great system where they will take a little machine, hold it to your face, and they will color match your skin and tell you what's best for your skin.
That's right.
And you say, I am on a budget, I need it to be low end, then they will actually find you a nice low end like foundation that will match your skin tone, because everybody has different pigments to their skin. I tend to run a little bit on the pinker side, so I always go with things with a little more pink to it. Or like there are other people who are a little bit more tan. You know, I never go outside, so I'm as white as anything. It's wonderful. But yeah, knowing what's best for your skin and the look is key to create like a good look for yourself. And also comes down to knowing your character. What would your character wear? Like, I try to go as neutral as possible for Twilight. I kind of overdid it on the eyeshadow, but I was having fun this morning. I was like, yeah, eyeshadow. Oh, it's blending so nicely. I love it. Oh, it's like a masterpiece on my face. However, for example, I'm going from this very basic look for Twilight to an over-the-top look for Queen Chrysalis later. So it's going to be like 2 very opposite spectrums. That's why I actually didn't put on a lot of primer on my face, because I knew I'd be reapplying brand new makeup later. Also priming your eyes too.
Yes.
Prime your eyes, yes.
Priming your eyes will help keep your eyeshadow on so it doesn't smudge and you get that look like you just got punched in the face by your mascara. Really, A+. Excuse me. Oh, accents and the overall look, we go back to fake eyelashes. The idea of all of this excess, like the lashes and jewels on the eyes, all like the really sparkly things, like you see like cosplayers like Yaya Han. I'm gonna use Yaya as an example. You usually see her with this like flawless eye makeup and like little accent details. The reason she does that is because it's to accelerate her own look and give her own twist on the character itself. She's making the character her own by doing it that way. And I feel like that's the best possible way I could actually describe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. There's also like little add-ons like fake nails. If you're doing Princess Cadence, let's say, and you want to have like a little bit of a longer nail, like you bite your nails or your nails don't grow that long, you can go to like a CVS and get like a pair of fake nails for dirt cheap, and it will be fantastic. Or even tinting your eyebrows to match your wig.
Eyebrows.
Eyebrows.
Go for the eyebrows. They show up in pictures first off, and your eyebrows protect your face, so try and keep them on your face. Like everyone's in the trend of shaving and then plucking them dry. Don't do that. Keep them on your face, and if you're cosplaying, tint them with. I like to do like if you can buy like I think Revlon makes them, but like they're little eyeliners, and they have a smudgy thing at the end.
Yeah.
That's the best for eyeliner.
But for also to tint your eyebrows, we're actually going to tell you how to do it because there's a fun way. I have a method of doing it. Everybody has their own method, but this is my particular method that I find to work very well. When I'm applying my foundation and my concealer, I will take it and I will brush it on my actual brow in the opposite direction, so it's making the eyebrow actually stand up and the hair on the eyebrow actually look all kind of funky looking, but it coats it, it actually will make it a flesh tone color. Then when I'm ready to apply the eyeshadow or anything like that, what I'll do is I'll take a brush and brush the eyebrow down with that to create the clean line and to tint it to the color that I need. It will also reshape the brow and make it a little bit more nice and defined for the final look. Then I just set it with some powder and call it a day. It's very, very simple. And if you have any questions about how to do it, once again, you can talk to us after the panel. I'll answer a whole bunch of questions when we get to the end because I like questions.
Just get out the tweezers and start doing your eyebrows right there.
Hopefully we have answers.
Maybe another convention we can have.
Okay, so posing and modeling in cosplay. Now you finished your costume, you got your makeup on, you got your weave, you're all set to go for you're all set to go for the convention. Now this is where the fun happens. Somebody stops and asks you for a photo of your costume. Ooh. So what would you do? Now I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna demonstrate. God, I'm getting too old for this. Okay. So, can you all hear me okay? So, the basic principle of posing is obviously, first and foremost, know your character. So, I'm Twilight, so I wouldn't be posing like
Sugoi anime Twilight.
That's so sparkle.
Kawaii Disney.
I would kind of tone it down a little bit. And let me see here. I got props. Props are also fun too, so.
By the way, I spend like an hour before each convention just practicing posing. Y'all should too.
So instead of posing, we're like, we're gonna Twilight is super humble and like very down to earth, so she wouldn't be posing, super over the top, like Pinkie Pie. If you were Pinkie Pie, you could do cartwheels and it'd be fine. But
Fine.
scroll. I'm so cute. Don't put that all on. And you know what? This is enough of my dirty face. But
Mostly my fault.
that you have to just embody your character and know your character. There's a lot of issues with cosplayers these days. When they'll cosplay a character, they have no idea what they're about. They just like the design, they think they're pretty. And when they get to the convention, they just kind of do the whole. I'm like, the character, the gun-wielding, sword-fighting person, they don't go. But then it would change completely if, later this afternoon I'm doing Queen Chrysalis. So posing, like, oh, that's so sweet. I'll eat your soul. Wouldn't, it wouldn't exactly pan out so well.
Also, know your angles.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I believe everyone is beautiful no matter what they look like, but if you catch yourself, like, posing wrong in a picture and you're like, I know I don't look, this way, but it could, it could possibly ruin your day, but it's just your eyes. So if, if you're really concerned about that, I just, like I said, I go in front of my mirror, I see how I look this way, I see how I look this way, I'll go to the side and see how to do that, like, oh no, not this way, it makes my arms look 10 pounds bigger,
Even with your cell phone, Like,
Yeah.
with your
Yes.
cell phone
Practice
too,
with your
you
cell
can
phone.
discover like the angle that works best for you. Where is it? Tadashi?
Like my angle.
So,
Is
for
here.
example, like, I would sit there, okay, it's not like work. So with my cell phone, I'll sit there and I'll move the camera around, trying to see which way and where my angle fits me better in order to, get an idea of how to place my head or pose something like that. But
Darn cameras.
But it's all about, and it may sound really silly, but going in front of your mirror like a week before the convention and just standing there trying to like figuring out how you want to pose in your costume, totally normal. We all do it.
Yep.
Don't lie.
No, we all do it.
Because let's say when I cosplay Rainbow Dash, I was more like that. And I also had the habit of practicing like jump poses, like stuff like that to get yourself into character. Because the more you're in character in your photo, the better your photos are going to be.
That's what really makes the photos in this fandom, the either the inside jokes or what's going on in the situation. So have fun. If you find some buddies and you want to pose with them, by all means.
I can tell that story.
Oh, do it.
No, I have a story that's related to being in character. So one of my first pony characters is Granny Smith, and I went all out, had a walker with the fuzzy slippers and everything. There were people at the first convention I wore her to that thought I was legitimately disabled because of how well, like, and old that I was, like, walking, and they're like, "Oh, you can walk fine." I'm like, "Yeah, it's acting. I'm okay. I'm really okay. I don't actually need this walker."
I remember that. I totally thought you
Yeah.
were also 90s.
Yeah, someone thought, and I will walk around like this.
But just remember that if you're in a hurry to get somewhere, you need to meet somebody, you're on your way to get food and you're really hungry or something like that, remember you are allowed to say no to a photographer for photos. This doesn't make you a bad person. You just have to be somewhere. You can always just say, "I'm really sorry, but I'm on my way to
Panel,
panel,"
meet
or
someone, this, etc.
"I'm on my way to count my toenail clippings." I don't know. So
It's not like you won't see them again. You can always say, "Hey, you could just run by later."
all right.
Take a picture.
Now, this is a part of the panel that I do like to discuss because, unfortunately, of late, it has become a problem with cosplay in general, and it's harassment and behavior at conventions with cosplayers. First and foremost, who here has ever heard of the phrase, "cosplay does not equal consent"? Raise your hands. Good. So good.
That's good.
Mazel tov, yes. Cosplayers are people. I'm a person, like I said. I'm not a pony on my off day. Off days I'm a pony, but every other day. It's called respecting. You have to learn just respect yourself, respect other cosplayers, and know your limits, know your boundaries. It's really more about a personal understanding that we're all people. Just because this is a convention doesn't mean that the outside world doesn't still matter. The rules still matter in what's in here. Like the law, it doesn't change the minute you walk into a convention center. I mean, I can tell you, unfortunately, I've had bad experiences with people at conventions who've been a little too handsy, and my boyfriend was not too thrilled. It's just a very negative connotation. And BronyCon, I feel, is the one convention where we actually have a lot of mutual respect for each other.
Yeah.
Because it's a very welcoming, safe environment to be in. But you just have to remember that some people like their personal space. That's why we have those little badges thingies. The
color coding.
That's rarity. The little color coding system. That's actually a really good idea because I have anxiety and sometimes I don't like to be touched or talked to when I'm freaking out in a corner crying. So, but also with the personal space, does everybody know the idea of what glomping is? Do you ever heard this term glomping? If you have not, glomping is a very aggressive hug, usually that starts with a person running at someone. Stories for another day. Or at least until the Q&A. This can cause damage to a person as their physical being. This can cause damage to their costume. For example, a friend of mine was cosplaying, and she was in Howl, from Howl's Moving Castle, the Miyazaki film. We know Howl's Moving Castle, yes, no, maybe? But the version that she did of Howl was his bird form. So she was covered in head to toe feathers with these beautiful black wings that she spent months and months and months working on. Individually sewed these feathers to this bodysuit to get the full look. It was a stunning costume. She was in it for 15 minutes. A girl came up and glomped her and destroyed half of it. It was like a $600 costume, completely wrecked in under 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
So, and the girl didn't even apologize. She just ran off and was laughing about it. It's not okay to touch people, or like if somebody asks for a hug, I will say sure. Or, you know, if I'm feeling, you know, like a little anxiety, I'll sit there and be like, no thanks. Hearty handshake.
Hearty handshakes. We need to bring those back.
Hearty handshake. And of course, always, if you're going to be a photographer asking a cosplayer for a photo, ask for a photo. Don't just snipe. I hate when I get sniped. It happened already like 4 times to me today about like being sniped as like I'm walking, somebody sitting there like, I'm sitting here going, I feel like I need like a bodyguard.
We would have stopped.
Sorry. If you ask us for a photo, we'll stop and be like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, of course, we always have the right to say no to the photos. It's okay.
But you also get a more flattering photo usually if you just take the time to be polite and stop.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And of course, respect and humility are 2 very, very big things that I think people need to understand in this community, because that's what we are. We are a community. As I like to say in my cosplay panels, cosplay, you walk in here and you're with your extended family. People you've never met, you become like a big extended family because you have that one thing that ties you all together. And it's either cosplaying or just ponies in general. There's that one thing that links us all together, and you just grow your friendships off of that. That's what the community's meant to do. That's what it's been meant to do for years and years and years and years and years. But now with this whole social media like wars, oh my God, I'm famous on the internet, look at me, I'm so amazing, blah, 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 ego, ego, ego. The ego gets in the way, and therefore the friendships are destroyed because of the ego. There is not a single, I have a friend of mine who likes to compare herself to other cosplayers, being like, I'll never be that good, I'll never be that good, they're so amazing. I'm like, they're just people. And the fact is that no cosplayer is better than any other cosplayer. So your craftsmanship may not be the best just yet, but you're working on it. You're just working to get better. You're doing this for fun, right? That's what I thought. Fun? 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 Fun?
There we go.
Actually, oh wow, that worked. Power.
Because you're a princess.
I am a princess. But humility needs to be something that people understand. For an example, when I made my La Muerte costume, I had a surge of popularity. It was being reblogged, and the director of the film saw it, and he loved it, and all blah, 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 blah. And I was sitting there, and all I was humble. I remember seeing the post by the director of the film the day after I wore the costume at KatsuCon. And somebody texted me, be like, check Twitter. Oh my God, check Twitter, check Twitter, check Twitter. So I go through, and there was my costume reblogged by the director of the film. And instead of sitting there going, yeah, I'm awesome. Yeah, I'm better than you. You want to know what I did? And I have really not actually said this to anybody, but I sat in my hotel room and I cried for like a half hour. Because that right there means that all of my hard work paid off. And that the people who I really were hoping to be like, I love your film. I want to show you that I love this film so much. I spent 4 to 5 months on this costume. I made candles float in this massive hat and handmade skulls and all this other stuff. I spent 4 hours in makeup and all this other crazy stuff to do. And at the same time, I wasn't doing it for Facebook fans or likes on my Tumblr or people following me on Instagram. I did it for me. And that's what cosplay should be for you guys. Cosplay's for you and no one else. And nobody else can tell you otherwise. Because you need to understand that cosplaying something from the heart and making a character that you really love is more important than how many likes you have on a page or how many followers you have or how many people think you're awesome. It doesn't matter. I am nothing but humble to the fact that people who know who I am and enjoy my work, because if they enjoy my work, that means I'm doing something right. Because they love what I love. And that's really what the soul of cosplay is to know what you love and represent what you love in a craft that could take you months, you could go by, it doesn't matter. The point is that you're showing your love for something, and that's what will help keep you humble, by understanding that your love for that one thing can take you all the way to infinity and beyond kind of thing. All right? All right. So,
Q&A. Woo.
Q&A time.
All right. I saw your hand go first.
Yes.
It's okay, we can
We'll come back to you.
So, is there any questions? Yes, sir, right over there.
I got this one. Give me Okay, I am a personal fan of the Got2b hair. I think it's called Freeze.
Yeah,
The
freeze.
freeze spray.
Spray. Oh my God, that stuff is wonderful. Like if you see it, like, did you make your mohawk with it?
Oh no,
No,
we
it was-
didn't.
Okay,
it
that's
was
right.
That was called like that.
Oh, okay, that's right. So
Oh yeah, we were gonna.
that's right.
Got to be
Yeah.
So Got2b glued, and it's made by a brand called Schwarzkopf.
Yeah, bless you.
And it's in a it's in a yellow container. Basically, any wig that you see that's spiky or like out here, more likely than not, that was the product used on it.
I used Got2b when I cosplayed a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because oh man,
And
dad hair.
And
That
definitely,
puts things into perspective.
if you go with an Arta or an Epic, they are heat resistant.
Yes.
Heat will help you create all these crazy styles and spikes. So you tease it up, and then a couple sprays of that Got2b works
Call it a day.
amazing.
And another brand too that is surprisingly durable is actually Aquanet.
Aquanet, yeah. Let's hear it for the 80s people.
Yeah.
Aquanet is an amazing product because it does give you that hold that you're looking for, especially if you have curls in your wig. Like my new Gala Twilight wig has a boatload of curls in it. So I use that, and I get these beautiful ringlets when I took it out of the curlers, and they hold, which was the most important thing. But Got2b, Aquanet, heat hair dryers, most wigs are heat resistant now. So you can throw that flat iron on there and just go boop, and ta-da, straight. Sound effects are included. So, all right. Anyone else?
right.
Yes, you, sir.
Oh, fangs.
Fangs. Okay.
Good question.
They make a lot of special effect things. God, what was the website? I got my crystals ones one. There are a couple different types of fangs that you can get, but usually you buy them and you have to mold them to your teeth. They make like 2 single fangs that you can stick in your mouth and mold and shape to your teeth instead of having like the big set that can put in. I'm trying to remember the name of the website. Come to me afterwards and I can give you the name of the website.
Do you know? Scarecrow.
Thank you.
That's
Yes,
it.
Scarecrow. That's what she's wearing.
Yeah.
Those are the same fangs I have for later. Hey.
Yeah, Scarecrow's great. You'll find it at Party City. You'll find it in a
Costume
LA costume shop that's like meant for people
Theater.
on film. Yeah. So
What else about fangs? They also do make a really cool pair of fangs that I bought for a different costume. And what they are is they hook onto the back of your molars and go up to the top, and they sit under, like right above here, and you don't see them when you're in your mouth. But when you open your mouth, you push your tongue down on like this little piece in your mouth, and the fangs come down and open, and actually come cool. Like True Blood style, you know, like, or I'm trying to think of, we're not talking about that book series, but you know, things with vampires.
Oh yeah.
Flutterbat, there we go.
Flutterbat.
Next, right here in the front.
What are your ideas?
Oh, microphone. Ooh, we're fancy.
What is your
Oh, can we go? We're not that fancy anymore. What time is it?
3:47.
Group,
Do it.
Love them.
Love
thing.
group cosplays.
Even duo cosplays.
Yeah.
Duo cosplays, group cosplays. Cosplaying with other people is a blast. I know that we have our main 6 group that we're going to be doing tomorrow. And our villains group too that we also have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to cosplay Chrysalis, not Chrysalis, I am brain farting today. Cadence and Shining Armor, and it allows for more fun with posing because my Shining Armor was able to lift me and pick me up and look like he was about to throw me.
Wife chucking!
Which you could have done. We wife chucking, and I actually made wife chucking belts for us. Like
The
I
wife
hot
chucking
glued
champions.
a bunch of stuff, yeah.
Cosplaying by yourself can be fun, but having other people to cosplay with is even better. I know like a lot of my friends have had a resurgence in doing Sailor Moon groups because Sailor Moon's now the big thing again. But it's fun because when I'm at BronyCon, I actually get to have like a main six, and I never get that. Like I'm like one of the only people besides this lady right here that I can cosplay ponies with because they don't understand, man.
Just don't
They
get
don't
it.
understand.
They're not part of the herd. It's okay.
They're not part of the herd. Stinks. But yeah, no, I highly recommend doing group costumes. Now, I'm going to give you the little like disclaimer. Not everybody in the group will be happy with a character they might get chosen as. Sit down and talk it out and see what you can work out. Always talk things through. Don't get all like catty and go kind of thing, because it could get really ugly and awful. But no, duo cosplays are fantastic, and so are groups, so I highly recommend it. If you want to do a group, go for it. And then post pictures so we can all
Yes.
see. Yes. All right, next, did you remember your question? Okay.
Said no harassment.
Uh-huh.
It's in the code of conduct of BronyCon.
It is.
It's
No, it's
right
good.
there,
A
like
lot
cosplay
more
design.
cons are
Yeah, a
doing
lot more
that and
conventions are
making
doing that now.
signs.
A
Yeah,
lot
that's
more.
cool. Yeah, thank you for telling us that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have like a whole bunch of ideas for cosplays. Is there any ways that you could like somehow make them into fruition? Because like I said, I have a whole lot of ideas, like my Pony Sona, a whole bunch of other characters, and even, for example, let's just say Gamzee from Homestuck. I want to try and do that, but I don't know the first thing as to how to do a troll Homestuck cosplay, because I've seen a whole bunch of people do that, and it's like, it's amazing how they're able to do all these kinds of things, and it's like,
The best thing that I can recommend if you have a ton of ideas and you don't know where to start with the one that you really feel the most passionate about and go from there. So, and I know that there are tons of tutorials online for Homestuck horns. I think Zippy and Freckles have one too. Yeah, they have Tumblr. Go to Tumblr. As much as I hate saying it, go to Tumblr.
Yeah. Just know your audience too, because
Yeah.
if you're like going to a certain convention that you feel that this cosplay might be more popular at, then that's the best way to do it. That's how I do it personally. So.
Yeah. Like, I really don't cosplay ponies anywhere but at BronyCon
Or multi-genre
All right.
cons, yeah.
or multi-genre
Okay,
cons.
so question?
The guy with the army getup, right?
Yes.
I think army, I can't tell from here.
My brain now remember my question. Oh, I'm good, but thank you. So, oh, right.
Hey, look at
So
that.
I don't think you said anything about props. So, like, if I'm going to bring something that looks like a firearm, like, it's not a firearm, but like laser rifle, what's your stance on that? Like, props, anything, right?
Props are great.
Props are great, honestly. Even if they look like a weapon, as long as you're not being a jerk with it.
Definitely make-
Don't be a jerk ever. But you know, as long as you're following the rules in the book, like you have the orange tape around, and it looks like it got checked too.
Yeah,
Yeah, just as long as you comply.
Most conventions do have on their website what their rules towards weapons are, or at least an email for someone you can contact. Definitely make sure you check those out before you put all this hard work into making something, and then you can't keep it with you around at the con.
Yeah.
And props are also great for posing and whatnot because it just adds another level to the character itself. Like I said, I have my handy dandy book that also, the funny part is that it actually is, it's storage. So, and there's Spike.
Like, I always think of Ricky, Bobby, and Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands, so like props like fixes that immediately.
Any other questions for us, guys? Yes, sir, right there in the middle. His hand, up for the girl with the headphones. Oh, he's raising his hand for her. Oh, fancy.
What do you recommend for contacts?
Contacts.
Okay.
Okay, color contacts. There have been some misinformation about color contacts, especially circle lenses.
Yes.
Circle lenses, people think that they're illegal in the US. They are not illegal. I'm going to stress that right now. They are not illegal, but they can be purchased with a prescription from an eye doctor. My recommendation is that if you're going to start using color contacts for your costumes, go and see your eye doctor. They can give you the curvature of your eye, make sure your eyes are actually going to be able to handle wearing contacts, especially for long periods of time. And they'll actually recommend that you maybe try out a pair of colored contacts that they have. Like, I have colored contacts, but they're placebos. I don't need them to see. So I just will put them in and I will use them for just that little extra pop of color in the eye. Currently, like, I'm not wearing color contacts this weekend because my eyes are so dry from my allergies. It's also the point of knowing when and when not to wear them. Places to get colored contacts. Pinky Paradise is a really great website. They offer a lot of circle lenses in all different colors of the rainbow.
Honeycolor.
Honeycolor
is where I get
Honeycolor's my
mine.
favorite.
Honeycolor's great.
They have a bunch of sales. I know they also have contacts, a limited range, but if you have astigmatism,
Yep.
they have contacts designed for that.
And also, it's just about proper care for your eyes. If you're feeling like you're hitting your limit with the eye, with your contacts, know when to take them out.
Take them out.
Always remember, know your limit on your cosplays, and know when to take things off or take the contacts out of the eye.
And they do have like an expiration date of sorts, so after that time passes, definitely it's time to repair so you do not do damage to your eye.
Yeah.
Definitely not more than a year.
Yeah.
So.
A year is the limit
Yeah.
for contacts, really. Anybody else? Over yonder with all the plushies.
Oh my God.
He's plushified. It's wonderful.
A baby bag.
What is your stance on LARPing?
LARPing.
Ooh, we never got a LARPing question.
We never have gotten a LARPing question before. Well, this is awkward.
Well, like, I don't know, like the community, the LARPing community, to me, it seems like, it's like, I don't know, it just seems bigger than it leads itself on. Like, there could be all these hidden things underneath, but I don't know, like.
I mean, my stance on LARPing, especially like acting in character while in costume, I will do it very briefly, but I prefer to be myself in costume, and then, you know, for photos or anything, especially if you're doing it with a group of friends, you'll always end up acting in character, being like, Twilight, stop talking. All right, I'm sorry.
Or like
Stop
someone's
being
like,
a know-it-all.
hey,
Sorry.
Rarity, you could turn around like, like, yeah.
I mean, doing like little things like that, I personally it adds a little touch to the whole concept of the cosplay itself.
Yeah.
But LARPing in general, I've actually never LARPed, so I can't answer that question, and I'm sorry, don't hate me.
I used to know people that like went into
The woods
conventions
somewhere.
like full on character mode. Like I think he was a Kakashi from Naruto, and so he was like this brutish jerk all day, and he's like a nice guy in real life, but he just
Takes
like
it to that
continued
extra
to
step.
ignore everyone. So he's like a method cosplayer, and they're like, why are you doing this? You're not letting people take pictures of you. It's Kakashi though. So.
Yeah.
Cosplay could be a performance art. Who knew?
Performance art. Any other questions for us? Yeah, somebody we haven't picked on just yet, sorry. Yeah, right here.
This is a little bit different, but I just want to hear a story. Any stories you want to tell?
Stories about
Story time.
Oh God, where do I start? Oh no, not the glomping story. All right, fine. So a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, when I did some Naruto cosplays, I borrowed a friend's costume because mine didn't work out, so I borrowed my friend's costume to wear with the rest of our Naruto group. And this was before like it was dubbed and in the United States. It was still, you know, your subtitles over your BitTorrent and your internets.
Yeah.
However, when we were in an elevator going down to the con floor, it was the big group of us, they were glass elevators coming down, and I looked down and there are these two girls, they're pointing up at our elevator and like going, like really like frantically and whatnot. So I'm like, oh, okay, they'll probably ask for a photo when we get out, no big deal, because I saw them running over to meet us. Doors of the elevator open, and lo and behold, these girls rush in, grab me, throw me back against the glass of the elevator, and slam me into the elevator. Now, the elevator had a giant metal bar that was my waist high. Guess where my waist went? I had a welt on my back about this big, and I was bleeding.
Yeah.
That was, and she didn't say sorry, she just giggled and ran off, and I sat there going, welp. Back upstairs, ladies and gentlemen, click. But I lost an entire day of my convention because I was in so much pain. So, and I never found out if I ever find that girl again, she'd go down to Chinatown. Other
Wait,
interesting...
what? Yeah, we're almost out of time, and I do got a quick story. It's very simple. Like BronyCon 2012, I walked in like all by myself in my Rarity cosplay for the first time. First time I'm coming out in the flesh in this fandom. And the first thing that happens is there's a Spike cosplayer in the registration line. He probably wasn't even supposed to do this, but he was like, Rarity, come over here, I'll help you cut the line. And I'm just like, okay. So in that moment, like, we had a little Asperity's cute, ha 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 thing. But then we ended up becoming great friends and stuff. So.
The other thing too is I also, when I was early in my cosplay lifespan, I just did crossplay, which I dressed like a guy, and I dressed as male characters. And I was dressed as Riku from Kingdom Hearts. All right.
Hey!
Now, we were at this convention. I was with my college roommate at the time. And we had just come out of this deals room, and this girl comes running up to me being like, oh my God, can I get your photo, please? Can I get your photo? And I just nodded. I didn't actually say anything to her. So I sat there and, had my keyblade, pose on the shoulder, look all, Riku. So, emo. And she took the photo, and she's like, it's so refreshing to see a guy cosplay Riku.
Oops. Hey, you know what?
Well,
that's awesome. That's awesome in my opinion. So.
But yeah. The worst part is my roommate was on the floor laughing.
That's like my Otakon story.
That was the
best part.
And I just I turned bright red in the face, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Are you okay? Is that your girlfriend?" And I'm sitting here going, "No,
no, it's not.
Not my girlfriend." All right, guys, we are out of time. If you're interested in following us on social media, you can come up and get our Facebook pages. I have my cards that you can gladly take one. And thank you so much for coming. And please enjoy the rest of your BronyCon, guys. Thank you.